and welcome to the Batgirljamie Show. I'm just going to chill and drink my coffee with you guys before I do some chores. I got a few more chores I want to do today. I'm going to clean my kitchen today and clean my bathroom. But I wanted to do a live stream with you guys. I'm going to stay here and just do a live stream with you guys. Chill. This is my Dunkin' Cinnabon. No, it's my Taco Bell Cinnabon coffee that I bought for my breakfast. And I had a crunch wrap. And I couldn't eat anything else. I wasn't hungry, so I'm not going to eat anything else. I did have my vitamins that I take in the morning, my MNM, and my boron, and my thyroid meds. And I didn't have any coffee, so we're going to have our coffee today. Together. So I want to have my coffee with you guys, and I've been up since about 9 something. I just set an alarm for 10 just so I wouldn't oversleep, because I allow myself to sleep till 10 on some days. That's the only day I allow myself to sleep in, really. I try to not sleep in more than 8, 9 o'clock on most days, any other day. Because I won't get anything done if I oversleep. And I straighten my hair a little bit, and it's pretty straight. It looks way better. And this is my shirt I've been wearing. It's a Beetle shirt. And I think it's just like this, a gray. I have another one that's tie-dye. I have a couple different Beetle shirts. But they're my favorite band. If you haven't known, you don't know, you know, but now you know. Let's share this broadcast real quick. Let's share this broadcast because I don't have any. I guess that's the only people that I have to invite. So we're gonna put you. Yeah. I just felt like wearing my Beatles shirt because I haven't worn it in a while. I'm going to do laundry, but today I'm going to get my inside of my house as clean as I can in a couple hours. I'm going to give myself 2 hours of cleaning time. Very good. Very good. That's very good. This is the Dunkin'. I mean, not Dunkin'. I usually get Dunkin'. But this is the Cinnabon coffee, iced coffee from Taco Bell, and it's really good. It's really cinnamony. If you like cinnamony coffee that's kind of creamy and vanilla-y, you'll like this. Hi, everybody. How is everybody? If you guys never had the coffee from Taco Bell they serve in the morning, it's the Cinnabon iced coffee. So good. I decided to get myself one this morning. I just realized my Prime subscription just came out of my thing, and I pay for it by the year because you save $2 or $3 a month you always save a couple dollars a month by buying subscriptions by the year. So I always do that so I can save the extra money if I can. But I don't do Netflix or any of those like that because I couldn't afford to do them all at once.
I need tippy for my bunghole.
I'm just sitting here trying to do a live stream. And if you guys haven't subscribed to my channel, could you please hit that subscribe so you get notified every time I go live? And hit that bell hit that like button so I can get the most likes I've ever gotten in a live stream. And share it if you can, if you know anybody that would watch. I'm just chilling. I just did my skincare. I just washed my makeup off with water. And did skincare. That's all I did for my face. I used this balm stuff from Dr. Malaxin. It's the Cactox, and it's the Cactox pore minimizing stick. And I use the Cactox spray. Ooh, yum. Me too. Oh, if you like that, you would like the International Delights Cold Foam Caramel Macchiato, or the Dunkin' Cold Foam. Or the Dunkin' Caramel Cold Brew concentrate, and you just add a little bit of water and creamer to it. So good. Or what else? The caramel macchiato cold foam, and add it to like ice and coffee on the top. That is so good. Yo, and that makes your coffee so much cheaper. I only once or twice a month get a coffee out. Like, I'm probably gonna make one of those free a dinner out of them food later with this food. I like to shape my and not have a harsh edge on my nails because it makes me scratch. I actually scratch myself when I don't. That's why I like to get rid of the harsh edges. That's why I got a pair of nail clippers. So when I'm out here doing this, I can clip my nails. And not... I left them out here from last time I did it. These are good toenail clippers. These are my good toenail clippers. Those are my good nail clippers. Ew. My favorite Beatle is Paul. I'm a big, huge Paul McCartney fan. I have tons of Paul McCartney albums and tons of Paul, John, George, and Ringo. Ringo's my favorite. My favorite drummer of all time to watch perform is if you're going hardcore rock, Joey Jordison from Slipknot was one of my favorites. Then we've got Ringo. Paul's my favorite Beatle. I'm a huge Paul McCartney fan. My cousin's little brother likes John Lennon and Paul McCartney about equally, which is about me. I'm kind of an equally fan. When I was in high school, I got to do a person I admired most for a speech. For a project, and I chose John Lennon. And then we did another one where we had to do a speech, and I used a video as an explanation why I really like this person, and it was about Marilyn Monroe. Because if anybody knows me, they know my favorite actress of all time is Marilyn Monroe. But as far as newer actresses, if I had to pick, it'd probably be Kat Dennings. Or TV, as far as TV actresses, that is both TV and movies, I'd have to say for newer ones that are newer and younger, I'd have to say Sydney Sweeney. I think she's very talented, and I love Amanda Seyfried, and I really like Reese Witherspoon, Kate Hudson, and Alicia Silverstone, and Molly Ringwald. Those are my favorites. And then I like Katharine Hepburn and Vivian Leigh and Elizabeth Taylor and Marilyn Monroe. Those are my favorite actresses. And for actors, I like James Dean, Jared Leto, Clark Gable, he was in The Godfather, Marlon Brando. I really, really like his acting. Not that he's I like his personality, his acting, when it comes off into his acting, is Steve Buscemi. I absolutely love him. Another one that's kind of like that is Michael Cera. Hello, guys. Hi, Vic. Hi, guys. Okay, my favorite actors. Okay, and I like Ryan Reynolds. Male. I really like Ryan Reynolds. He's like one of my favorites. Who else? Yeah, those are my favorites. Oh, I also like Harley Quinn, Smith, and Lily Rose Depp also, and I like Johnny Depp also. Yeah. One of my favorites was from True Blood, Alexander Skarsgård. And I like Charlie Hunnam from that was on that was that show about the motorcycle gang, Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. And one of my favorite actresses of all time was Betty White. Oh, I love Napoleon Dynamite. I love John Heder. He was funny. I love that movie. Who was in it? Tina Majorino. She was funny in that movie. That movie was great. So, a lot of people, if you've only watched it once and didn't like it, please, for the love of God, don't say you hate it until you watch it a second time. Because both me and my cousin's husband hated it the first time we watched it. And then he watched it again because other people were watching it and they were just hanging out with them. Watched it again and ended up absolutely loving that movie. If you want to know what I'm drinking, it's a Cinnabon coffee from Cinnabon iced coffee from Taco Bell, and it's delicious. I straightened my hair yesterday, and so it looks better. So, what's you guys' favorite movie? My favorite personal top 3 favorite movies that I've watched so fucking many times is Perks of Being a Wallflower, Almost Famous, My Girl, and Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist are my 4 favorite movies. Then we've got my favorite movie is My Girl. Absolute favorite movie is My Girl. Then we've got, my best friend knows this, that Scott Pilgrim versus the World is like one of my favorite. Yep, they do. It's Scott Pilgrim versus the World, and then we like Big Money Rustlers and Big Money Hustlers from the ICP movies and Death Racers. And me and Joshua Danger really like the movie. We've watched it so many times. It's the one about the kid where the kid gets kidnapped by the older brother gets his younger brother kidnapped to get dad's attention for something. Alpha Dog and American History X, and a movie we watched like so many times is Party Monster. And then another movies that we really like are all the Kevin Smith movies. Like my favorite is Yoga Hosers. I've seen it so many times it's like ridiculous. We have totally ongoing Yoga Hosers jokes, and we like the Friday movies, and we like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Clerks 1, 2, and 3, Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, Jay and Silent Bob Reloaded, Dogma, Mallrats, Chasing Amy. Yeah, those are our favorite movies. Those are our favorite movies that we watch together. But the 4 that I mentioned are my favorites that I've. And another one that's my absolute favorite in my top 10 favorite movies of all time is Pretty in Pink and Breakfast Club. And Girls Just Want to Have Fun and Can't Buy Me Love. I love 80s movies. Those are my favorite 80s movies. The 3 I just named besides Goonies and E.T. And I like The Wizard of Oz and Gone with the Wind and Gentlemen Prefer Blonde. Those are my favorite movies that are old. And then for like a 60s, 70s vibe, I like the Godfather movies and the Planet of the Apes movies. And then me and Joshua Danger are big fans of horror movies, and we really like the Conjuring series of movies. We really like the Conjuring movies and the the Conjuring movies, the Chucky movies, the Friday the 13th movies, and Hellraiser and Nightmare on Elm Street are our favorite movies to watch for horror movies. Like, those are the ones we like to watch. And we both, me and Joshua Danger, who is my best friend, we really like really obscure, like stupid horror movies. And one we watched was Shark of the Corn, and it's about people dressing up like sharks. People in the town hang out in, they knew people hanged out in the cornfield in a certain area. So there was people that thought it was cool to dress up like sharks and go in there and murder people. And that's what the movie's about. I never seen that movie. I've seen My Girl so many times. We really like animated movies, like Studio Ghibli movies too. Me and my best friend. We like anime too. We both like Soul Eater, but he likes more weird anime than I do. I like more of the cutesy ones like Fruits Basket. I like Chrome Shelled Regios, but there's nowhere to watch it, I don't think, anymore. Nope. I don't like Chuck Norris. I won't watch a movie if it's got Chuck Norris in it. So, my best friend loves Chuck Norris, but I personally don't. He likes Patrick Swayze, and I really don't. The only Patrick Swayze movie I ever really liked was Dirty Dancing. I love the soundtrack to Dirty Dancing. It's like one of the best. What's your guys' favorite movie soundtracks? Mine are Guardians of the Galaxy soundtracks, 1, 2, and 3. Awesome Mixes 1, 2, and 3. I have them all on cassette, and I have the first 2 on record, on vinyl, and I collect movie soundtracks on vinyl. I like the Top Gun soundtrack. My favorite movie I like Dirty Dancing and More Dirty Dancing soundtrack. So Dirty Dancing, and I like Flashdance. I like the soundtrack to Footloose and Grease and Saturday Night Fever, and I like the soundtrack to the movie Perks of Being a Wallflower, and the soundtrack to My Girl, and the soundtrack to Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist, and the soundtrack to Perks of Being a Wallflower, and the soundtrack to Scott Pilgrim's vs. the World. Those are my favorite movie soundtracks. And I like a lot of 80s movie soundtracks too. I like all mostly the 80s, 70s, and 80s movie soundtracks, and some of the newer ones. But I like ones that have lots of really, really good tunes, that are actual tunes that people really want to listen to. You like Pretty Woman's alright. It's not my favorite. The Lion King movie soundtrack's good, but it's not my thing. I collect Disney movie soundtracks, but they have to be old. I got Snow White. I think I got Dumbo. I don't have Sleeping Beauty, I don't think. I have Bambi, I think. I used to have Snow White and Cinderella. Not Snow White. Cinderella. And it's Snow White. The 3 big princes are Snow White, Cinderella, and Sleeping Beauty. And I used to have Snow White. Used to have Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella, but I don't think I have Sleeping Beauty and Cinderella. I might have Sleeping Beauty, but not Cinderella. I'm still looking for Cinderella. I liked Pinocchio, but I don't have the soundtrack to Pinocchio anymore. I used to. I'm still trying to get them back, the ones that I collect. That's the one thing I collect that usually isn't very expensive. I won't pay big money for them because I don't think I used to have Snow White. Okay, my favorite Disney movie that's animated, I have 2 animated movies that are my absolute favorite that I collect, and that's Snow White and Nightmare Before Christmas. I love Snow White. I have a Snow White snow globe. No, I have a Winnie the Pooh snow globe. I was going to collect the Cinderella, but I got rid of it because it was broke. It was missing my favorite snow dwarf, which is Dopey. Dopey's my favorite, my hands down my favorite dwarf. I do have VHS, but I have an old Strawberry Shortcake, Baby Without a Name VHS. I used to have a Care Bears one, but I accidentally got in the VCR that I was trying. I was trying to get me a VCR. Because when I moved, I found out my VCR was broke. It wouldn't even come on. I hooked it all up and it wouldn't come on. So I didn't have that. I love Ferngully, but I don't own it. I like it. Heathers is another one of my favorite 80s movies. Heathers. I like the movie Heathers, Cuffs, and I love Christian Slater. Heathers, Cuffs, and something hard with Christian Slater. That movie. And I like the movie The Legend of Billie Jean. I like Christian Slater movies. And I like the movie Supergirl. That's probably my favorite superhero movie. Just because it's really clean and kid-friendly. My favorite superhero for movies basically is, I love all the Batman movies, but I also love all the Spider-Man movies. Spider-Man and Batman and Batgirl are my favorite superheroes. Hence the screen name. Yeah. I like biblical documentaries, and I like historical documentaries. I like documentaries about the Bible that kind of explain it. Because some people interpret the Bible totally not right and take it out of context and use the Bible to spew hate. I do not agree with that. If your opinion is you shouldn't have an abortion because that's wrong and God said it's wrong, God never said no. In the Bible, it never says anything about abortion. It says do not. And in the Bible, there are babies being killed. In the Bible, it never says anything about abortion because there was no such thing as abortion. They didn't think of a way to get rid of babies. Because they were trying to make more babies because that's what everybody wanted and that's what was the normal. It's for everybody to have a baby. Now it's not normal. It's normal to only have children when you can afford to. And there wasn't people just having babies. You know, you can't have babies and just give it up. If you can't take care of your baby, then don't have one at all. You know, and and everybody's gonna have sex. That's normal. If you don't think that's normal, you can't just say, no, I'm never gonna have sex again. That's not logical. People have physical urges and they do them. And you have to, that's why they have birth control. And if you're being forced to have sex and you have a baby and you don't have an option, but just to have the baby, that's not right. You should have an option of adoption or abortion or keep it. That should be your choice because that's your baby. And they don't want to give you help. They're making it to where you have to work so much to have it. And if you got to pay for daycare and they won't help you with daycare because now they just make it too much requirements and daycare is so expensive that if you go and work, you're working to pay for daycare. You've got to basically make at least $4,000 to $5,000 a month to be able to afford daycare and all your bills and take care of your child. That is not cool. And you got to be able to have enough time outside of daycare to be able to, because some daycare charge by the hour. I think daycare should be by the hour and not by the day. You should be, I don't think any daycare should force you to put your kid in daycare 24/7. I'm telling you. I'm full time. you shouldn't have to have your kid there every day or at least 4 days a week to be able to have them in daycare. That's not right. And people need to report daycares if they're doing wrong. If you pull your kid out because you think something bad's happening and you don't report it, and it happens to another kid, that's your fault. Everybody's fault. They pulled their kid out. That's why if something happens to another kid, that's my sister's fault because she didn't report that shit. The other parent's fault for not reporting it beforehand. Because 3 kids got pulled out. 3 to 4 other kids got pulled out the same week my sister pulled my nephew out of that daycare and made my mom watch him all summer. Because she couldn't have him in there. And, that's not right. My sister's going to be out all summer taking care of a newborn. And my nephew shouldn't have to go to daycare when she's working. Those kids shouldn't have to go to a bad daycare. And daycare should be so expensive. They're charging that much and then they're underpaying their staff and the owner of the daycare is taking all the money. That's not right either. They should take that money and split it equally between all the employees. However many kids they're watching, that daycare worker, they should get paid at least half of each kid each number of kids that they're allowed to be watching. So if you're allowed to have 5 kids per worker, then you have 100 kids, and you should have 20 workers for them 100 kids, and not mentally challenged people. Because why was my nephew's daycare having mentally challenged people working there? They were slow. There were slow people working there. And they were playing with ranch dressing, and they had it all over. A big thing of ranch dressing and just getting it all over themselves. My brother-in-law went there for his Halloween party at daycare, and his parents came to volunteer. And there was kids with ranch dressing all over themselves and completely filthy and just chaos, and no one actually supervising them. And that is why my nephew, sometimes when he gets around too many kids, he goes, I don't like kids, and he gets acting like he's afraid until he gets to warm up to the kids. He is cautious now because of other kids, because of that daycare. And I never wanted that for him. I wanted him to be able to go to daycare, have their friends. Bathing. Okay, guys, I got to get off here. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you guys later. Have a safe week and weekend. Make sure you subscribe so you can come back later. I'm gonna go live later. I gotta go take a bathroom break and chill out for a minute and then do chores. So I'll see you guys later. Have a safe week and weekend. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit that like button, and I'll see you guys in my next live stream. And if you like my videos and want to be notified every time, hit the bell after you hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Stay positive. Make good choices. Treat people the way you'd want to be treated. Be kind, because you will never regret being kind. I love you all. Thanks for watching. See you in my next video. Make good choices, and I'll see you in my next video.